are at the Oban Distillery for our second whiskey distillery tour and tasting, right across from the ferry.
So that's what we call our flagship whiskey, so it's the most common one that we sell. We actually are so old that we predate the town of Oban. Oban did not become a town until about 1811, so 17 years afterwards. What that means is it gives us a unique position. So we're actually surrounded by buildings, as you've seen, which is unusual for a distillery. Usually distilleries are in the theatre when stuff is going through it. There's an awful lot happens. Essentially though, our grist is going to come in here. 6.75 tons of it at a time. And along with that, our first cycle of water, which is going to be around here.
This is the ton room where they wash out the sugar water.
Our still house. Now, as you can see behind me here, we've got our two stills. Now, when people come on this tour, they sometimes ask me if that's all we have, if we only got these two stills. That's because various distilleries can have up to 30 of these, which is a lot more than we have. We only have two. So they're both made of copper as well, and copper is a very valuable metal that we use for these stills because it's very. So remind me who again who's driving? Yes. It was released in 2025. Now it's a whopping 54.7% ABV. So
here we go. This is the hope we don't have to use them. Move your head, watch the blue things move around. Move your head up and down, sideways. Yep.
Keeps me level, just in case.
Well, here we are in Oban, lined up to get on the ferry to Mull. We're here a little early, but we're here so we can get on the ferry. The ferry leaves at 2:15 and it takes about just under an hour to get over to Mull. There's our car right there, waiting to get on the ferry. There's one leaving right there. Well, there goes one of the ferries. I'm hoping ours is at least that big for her. Well, this is our ferry coming in.
Getting on the ferry, headed to the Isle of Mull, waiting for the guy to tell us where we're going. We're going towards the wall. Look, and I'm even videoing, looking like a tourist.
Well, we're getting ready to get started on our ferry ride here. Sure hope it's a nice one. Low clouds, a little bit of fog and mist moved in. We'll see what happens. On our way, everybody's alarms are going off down below. Probably mine also.
Follow any instructions given to you by the crew. When using the stairways, please use the handrails, and when on the open deck, please do not hold children.
You're okay. You're okay. Lighthouse here on the right, and in this little inlet right here. She got up and went outside and she's looking around. There's to it.
At this port, passengers.
This is the view from our room here, out to the sea and the lighthouse and the castle.
This is the ferry coming into dock in Cragmere on the Isle of Mull, where we are now. We drove down here today, and this is the view from our hotel. We're up in the lounge area right now. We're on the bottom floor, so view not quite this good, but we can walk right out there and see it. But we're up here having some tea and crackers, cookies, and then this is the rest of the little place that we can see from the hotel. Sun has been in and out all day, but we hope to catch our breath here a little bit and rest. Supposedly beautiful drives and sea life, we're hoping, so we'll see what we get.
Just out on a little walk down by the water from our hotel. Little path walks along the coast here.
On a little
One of the trails on my all trails.
walk
Yeah.
down by the lock in back of the hotel. And this is the view that we have out the window that I videotaped from the lounge area. And there comes the sun right at the end of the day, with even some BLUE in the SKY that we haven't seen all day today, or much of, but that's very pretty.
We are here in Saline at the coffee pot to get a coffee. We heard it's good. Lovely little village.
Here's the little road we're on Mull, the main road. It is the road to Tobermory, where the distillery will be on Friday. But we're just taking a little drive today to kind of check out where we'll be. And stopped and got good coffee at a little shop called the Coffee Pot. And now we're on this little road. And this is the main road. It has little lay-bys like that, where you get off and the other person can go straight. And that's how you do it.
Just along our drive up north. Okay, we're going to try a short walk to some falls down by the coast. Little car park here where we start, and they say it's an accessible path. So we're hoping that means that it's not a muddy, slick mess going down the hill. Jennifer's already off and started. Wow, these are the upper falls. Well, that's cool back in there. I don't know how well you can see that. That is really cool back in there. bridge on a road that we didn't know was here. We made it down here to Lower Falls. And so it was about a half a mile and 200 feet down. The steep part was at the beginning, and then it kind of leveled out. And then we found out there's roads and little car park. We could have gotten down here in the car, but this is definitely more of an adventure. Well, there's Tobermory and their famous painted coastline there. This is another little surprise view.
I fell over.
There is a frisbee golf course in this forest. And there's a thing, caution, flying discs, UFOs. I'm not sure if you can see the green color in the water that's basically reflecting off of the trees and stuff. All right, headed back up the hill now from the Lower Falls.
Going through Tobermory, cute little painted up town. Otherwise it'd all be that brown stone that's right there, every single building. But they put a layer of paint on the walls to make it colorful around this little harbor. That's over there. And so, but it's very cute and very painted up for the tourists, and it's
There's
lovely.
A chippy.
It's lovely.
There's a chippy.
Oh, I didn't say
In the old
chippy.
post office. We are on a little single track B road on the way to Dervig, and there's a bay there. We want to see, maybe we can see some animals. But there's our road down there.
We're on a littler single track road than the single track road we were on, trying to find a harbor down here. It's been beautiful, there's been sheep, there's been views when we've been on the top of some hills, but this is going to be the finale if we can find the water down this road. Walkers welcome.
Down at the end of a lane, Croig, spelled like Craig, but with a O. Some monument out there. I don't know what that is. Probably to lost fishermen or seamen out there. Just a little tiny harbor, fishing harbor. We are here at Duart Castle, D-U-R-A-T, which I'll probably pronounce 3 or 4 times. Owned by the same family and clansmen for hundreds of years, more later. The castle was built by the Clan MacLean. Amazing how that's just built right on that giant cliff of rock. It was built in the 1670s, the keep was, and then various owners modified it and updated it. And then it was in disrepair for quite a while, into the 1900s, and then it was started being redone again. The surf picked up a little bit. Surf just kind of picked up a little bit. It's kind of the end of the walk around the castle and on out. Okay, we're headed back for our tour of the inside. These ferns are thick. These little bell flowers are everywhere. So these are the staterooms.
How about the banquet?
This is the banquet hall. With a live fire. Up the spiral turret case to the battlements. Roofing. How heavy do you think that is? Let's see a rain moving in. We can see for miles up here. Forever, can't you?
Here's a hairy coo. Highland cattle. They're actually part of the castle that we were just touring. It's a working farm, and so there's plenty of them roaming around, but this guy is posing, so he gets the limelight.
Now we're driving on the south side of the island through the middle. We are up at 3 Locks Overlook, and this has pretty much been the view the whole drive. I mean, there is nothing out here, not even a sheep. Loch Beg Bridge. So the lock must be that way, because there's no lock this way. And back in those clouds, back behind that sun, is the high point on the island. Loch Beg Bridge. Jennifer's walking across. Okay, I think that might be Ben Moore up there that just went into the clouds. The tallest point on the island.
I'm taking a little video out the window on our drive back to the hotel. Waterfalls everywhere, water everywhere, and lots of drops to drink if you want. Up there, every mountain that you have. Down there's a big one there. There's one over there. There's one over there.
We're back at the Three Locks Overlook, and here's a little video. You can see the locks, all three of them, and some SUN coming out. That is our Saturday ferry right there, and it just goes over to that port right over there. This morning we are driving back up north to Tobermory for our whiskey tasting and touring up there. Chillier, but clear, beautiful, sunny morning. This is our little ferry that I think we're on tomorrow, maybe, or it might be, I think that's the fishing boat. I think the ferry's up further. And I think that's where we go, right there, on the ferry tomorrow. Sun is out on the mountains. This is Aros Castle. I think that was the name of the waterfall area that we were at the first day, wasn't it?
Aros something, so Aros must have been a big dude back in the day.
Here in Tobermory for our distillery tour and whiskey tasting along the harbor. They painted all these houses in the 60s and 70s. Before, they were all just the stone color or white. And then once they started painting them, it became eventually a historic district. Waiting for our tour to start. We just had a coffee and a couple of chocolates at the Tobermory Chocolate Company.
And
Jennifer said it was
happier person now.
Jennifer said it was the best coffee she's had since we've been on the trip. This is our distillery tour here at Tobermory Distillery. Okay, we're starting our tour of the Tobermory Distillery here. Distillery number 3.
Spelling. Electric means this steep bank or cliff. It's got a Gaelic meaning of sort of protection, protective cliff, leading to a calm harbour. It's that geographical feature, which is quite important, and I'll come back to that later, because it hems us in. In the old days, that car park wasn't there, that was the sea, here was the cliff. That has a significant influence on the way we were built, and I will come to it later. But back to Laichik and Tobermory. Laichik was the original name of the distillery. It's this area, that's the Laichik car park. That's Tobermory over there, the west side, the east side. We get on okay through Whisky. The Laichik is the original peated malt. The Tobermory is the unpeated malt.
This is their malt mill. The company is Porteous, who sold a bunch of them back in the 70s and then went bankrupt. They sold them to every distillery in Scotland, and the reason they went bankrupt is because they never break and nobody needed anymore.
They would hold 45. War magic happens. So that clear spirit, or new spirit, or whoosh it out, split. All the colour in whiskey comes from the cask, or what was in the cask before.